Alright, you're looking at a 2012 6.7 Cummins diesel Dodge Ram. Has a little bit of a lift. I'm going to say 4 to 6 inch. Oversized 10 inch wide tires and wheels. So other than that, that's the only standard stuff that it's got done to it. This video is going to talk about the Race Me tuner, like an H&S tuner that allows you to do the exhaust deletion as well as the EGR deletion. This is the fully loaded Longhorn edition crew cab. We'll start off in the engine bay. Alright, so what we're looking at first is we did do the EGR deletion. So of course you can see the cap of the deletion. This comes off. There's a valve in there that comes out. There's a plug-in down here that you just unplug. There's a hose line, a hard line that goes around, comes through this, and then comes down through all that, the filter system that's been deleted. Of course, you can see the cap right there and the cap on back there in the back. Then it comes with your new bracket for your additional stuff that's going to stay in, and the loop over line that reconnects to the header. Again, you can see that cap back there a little bit better. Those bolts are kind of hard to get to on the very back when the filter's all in there. This truck also has a cold air intake by Air Ram. No other deletions, changes to the motors, no studs, no methanol. It does have a 180 thermostat. We decided to do that when we did the EGR deletion to get the cooling temperatures down. This truck normally runs around 209 to 220. Now it's running right at 180 all the time, so that kind of helps it out. Diesels typically run hot anyway, so any extra cooling. This truck also has full catback turbo exhaust. There's the turbo. It comes stock V-band. You just reuse the V-band. Pretty easy to get to. It's not like the Fords or the Duramaxes where on the Fords you got to lift the cab to get to the back. Some guys just leave that. But pretty easy to get to. Guy with average size hands can get to it. Again, 4-inch stainless steel exhaust. As you can see, the turbo, catalytic converter's gone. The filter systems were gone. 4-inch back. This one has the muffler up and over and out to the tip. You can order this kit with the muffler out. It adds a little drone, a little bit of back pressure. If you want it to act pretty stocked in the cabin, you're going to want to go with the muffler. We've liked it so far. It's really quiet. But again, you can order this kit with this pipe and the pipe in the center, so that if you want to ever get rid of that exhaust, the muffler, you can put the pipe in and it just be all pipe straight back. You will get a little bit more soot and what they call rolling smoke, but we're really happy with the muffler on there. It really makes it sound pretty stock to an extent. Again, 4-inch all the way back, pretty easy to install. Takes 2 or 3 guys. It take you about 3 or 4 hours without a lift. This truck's pretty easy to get under. We went ahead and put his tip back on that he had initially with the truck. If you can see inside there, the new exhaust comes almost back as far as the tip. So if you were looking at this, the exhaust actually comes to about right here, but we slid the tip over it just to kind of make it look a little better. That's how far it kind of sticks out of the truck. You can always cut it off, make a mark, take it back off and cut it. We didn't do any of that. Again, cold air intake, air raid. There's the product that we got, product number. Works well. EGR deletion. Cold air, the thermostat. So that's all under the hood. So exhaust, cold air, EGR deletion. Now we're going to get to the Race Me tuner. We went with the Race Me. We liked that we could get a hold of them. We were going to go with the H&S tuner. Race Me is a product line that only deals with Dodge. They don't deal with Ford. They don't deal with Chevy. Dodge only. Again, what comes in the kit is a booklet that tells you how to operate everything. You come with your upgrade cable, so if you ever need to upgrade it. Just one note, when we first got it, tried to plug it in, it wasn't going to work. When you first plug it in, there's a number that pops up across the bottom of the board. That is your update number. And at the very end, there's a letter. Ours had a D, and on raceme.eu and raceme.com, the new upgrade had an E. So it's just like Diablo and HB tuners and all the tuners out there. Sometimes you got to plug this cable in, plug it into a Microsoft machine, not an Apple, and go out there and download the new file, send it to it, and now it's upgraded. In the time that we ordered this, if you order straight through RaceMe, it should always be up to date. We ordered through a company out in Florida that had them, along with the EGR deletion and exhaust. So at the time that they ordered theirs and it came to their shop or warehouse, and then we bought it, there was an upgrade in between there. But not a big worry. Pretty easy to figure that one out, and we had that updated and gone. The other reason we liked it is you can get a hold of the guys just by a couple emails. And there's a guy up in Colorado, Canada, and then there's a guy all the way down in like Africa or something. He's on the EU site, and he'll comment back to you. He's the actual tuner. He can give you additional tunes if you need additional settings, tranny settings, additional high performance tune. This tuner comes with a 40, 60, 120. Those are your power tunes that you get. 40, I'm assuming, is the economy. 60 is the transmission or towing. Performance is the 120. It doesn't give you the torque gains. You could dyno those, but by reading some other numbers and comparing it to a couple other tuners that are very similar in horsepower, your max should be anywhere around 210 to 250 torque. And then, of course, you do the math for the 60 and the 20. When we put it in, we could tell a whole lot of difference. We went ahead and jumped it straight to the performance one just to see what the changes were. It really wakes the truck up. There's a lot there that you didn't know the truck could do. The throttle response is really, really precise. The pull and the torque on your chest, the truck really has a lot there that you didn't know from stock. So with that said, we'll go ahead and plug in. We'll go ahead and turn the key on. Plug into the OBD port. And we'll just walk you through what the tuner does on the screen and all that, so you can kind of get an idea of what's there. Again, when you first turn it on, let me unplug it. When you first turn it on, there's a number that pops up right there, and that second number is the download. So you always want to make sure before you start it that matches what's on the website. Of course, your second screen, just to kind of let you know, let me get this set up so everybody can see it really well. Your left and right arrows are to change stuff. Your left and right arrows are to go through the menu. Your up and down arrows are to change your settings. So just to kind of let you know, you can check your DDTs, and there's none out there. So then you go straight into the ECM. There are ABS upgrades that you can do and other settings that you can ask them for, and they'll follow into this menu when you click down. So you go to ECM, go up arrow. You have some options here in the book that you can ask them for timing changes. We just have one level, obviously So you go to 3. Now we can then you go over, and it's going to load that tune. So now you go to connect to the truck. Now this is what we presently have in there, and that's why it's saying what it says, SW1. So if you hit the next right arrow to continue, again, right and left continues through the menu. So we're going to stop right here. So these are your levels that you have. If you up and down arrow, again, you can select through those. So you got fuel economy, towing, performance, which is the highest grade. Then you got your stock, which would be if you're selling the truck, you're going to put everything back on it. If you put that tune on it and you don't have the EGR, the exhaust back on, and the EGR deletions, the truck's not going to run very well. If you wanted, you also have the option to do standard. Now, standard would be if you don't buy an exhaust system, you're going to keep the stock exhaust on, but just unplug the settings, unplug some of the plug-in requirements. And if you wanted to keep the stock EGR set up on there, all you would do is unplug a couple things it says in the booklet to unplug. You could run this tune and keep the truck stock on the exhaust and stock on the EGR, but it would just turn off the plug-ins, wouldn't get a 5-volt signal to them anymore, and you just unplug them, and that's it. Your next one back is fuel economy. So that's the one we're going to put in. So then you would go next, as you can see, indicated right there is 1. So if we back up 1, if I change this to so now we're putting in 1. So as that goes through, we'll walk through some other stuff. As you put in the tunes, it'll take it about 4 or 5 minutes to push it through. It's only using the truck computer to pull it, so it takes it a little bit of time. But as you can see, you can up arrow and down arrow, and left and right. Up and down is going to change whatever setting you're wanting to download. Left and right will update the tune for whatever tune you're wanting. And then, of course, last is right arrow. And as you can see, it's downloading right now. Right arrow will then continue to download the tune into the truck. After everything is done, this is going to take it a little bit, so I'll continue on real quick. As you come through, at the very end, it's going to tell you to turn the key off. You'll turn the key off. The screen will prompt you to hit the right arrow. You'll hit the right arrow. Then it'll say turn key back on. You'll turn the key on. Wait till the chiming stops. Once the chiming stops, it'll tell you, obviously it already say hit right arrow. So once the key's chimed off and everything, hit right arrow. Then I think it tells you to turn the key after it says programming. After that's done, it'll tell you to turn the key back off. Turn the key back off. It'll say it's programming. Once it's done programming, which only takes a couple seconds, then it'll say upgrade is complete. When the upgrade is complete, then you're ready to continue on with driving the truck. Cool thing about this tuner as well is it's not in a pillar or anything. So if you need to use your OBD port for insurance or any other methods for any other thing, you still have it. This just plugs back into this box, unplugs, puts back in the box, put it underneath the seat of the truck, drive on. You can change it at any point in time. So if you wanted to get economy while you're driving somewhere, then you're going to pick up a trailer at that point. Then you can put it into towing and drive it back. You're not stuck always having it plugged in, your OBD port always being covered up. It's just a plug in, play, change, unplug, put back in the container, and put back in the truck. So that's kind of why we picked that. We didn't want anything additional up here in the pillar. We didn't want to have to wire it all in. We just wanted it pretty simple. Again, putting it in performance really woke the truck up, really changes the whole function of the truck and performance. It's really crazy on how slow it was before. We're seeing in the performance, we drove up here, he drove up to my house, which is about a 7-hour trip. He saw an average in the performance, which is the 120. He was getting about 19.5 to 20 miles a gallon. In the city, or at his house driving around a couple weeks ago when we put it in. He's been driving around the whole time. He got where he was getting in the city around low 14s. He immediately started seeing 17s. So that's where you're really going to see a change. You're going to get a better gas mileage on your long pulls, on your long trips, if you ride in this for a while. But you really see your averages change around town. So if you do drive your truck around town, you're going to see a lot of changes there. We're going to put it in economy and see how much better it gets. We had heard that putting it in performance and keeping your foot out of it, you'll get the best fuel economy. But now we're just going to kind of, without dynoing it and knowing that, we're going to question it. We're going to go ahead and put the economy back in and have him drive back home for the 7-hour trip and just see what his fuel economy is then. Again, if it's not that good, then the great thing about this is you just plug it back in and change it back to the other setting and you're ready to go. If you've got any comments about this video or questions about the products we bought, please just comment below the video and I'll get time to answer it. Again, it's a 2012 crew cab Dodge Ram 6.7 EGR deletion, full turbo back exhaust, 4-inch stainless steel with the muffler, and the Race Me 2012 Ram tuner. That's it.